Sounds like a great cruise trip, man.
Dude,
It's the ones that we remember.
At freaking 15,
Or
16, oh my God, those were some highlights, man. But that's what you did. That's what you freaking did. Like, it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it like kind of makes you who you are. Dude, I would way rather experience those things early on in life and get it out of my system. By the time I was in my 20s, I was done. Like, I didn't care about any of that. I was so over it. I had a bunch of like friends that were like partying into their 20s, and I'm like, dude, what are you guys doing? You know, like, haven't you grown out of this? It's been like 10 years already. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's me. I'm like, I'm grateful that I went through that stuff early on. I don't encourage it, but I've learned a lot.
Ben, that's the same exact way I look at my life now. I say I'm so happy that I went through that already, to where people hit rock bottom and stuff in their 40s and 30s is a lot. I think it's a lot worse.
Oh, way worse, man.
To come out of. So I'm hoping that my worst has come and gone, because and
for sure.
I hope this isn't like, I've said this before. I've said this in 2009. I've said this in 2011 and 12. I said in 2014. I was like, that's my rock bottom. That's where I'm at. I'm not going lower than that. And I went lower. And I went lower and lower and lower. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So that's why I gotta. Well, you could always go lower. Just remember that, right? That's why hell is a bottomless pit,
That's
right?
True.
It just goes lower and lower and lower, right? But what
I know that now.
I'm questioning. My question for you though, this is a really good topic. Like, what now is different this time around, where you're like, you know, I can't go back. You know, like, what do you see differently than you did in 2009, or you know?
So there's two main things that I see now that is clearly stated, like, to me in my life, that I don't want to go back to that. One I can explain to you. The other one I can kind of explain to you. Number one is the physical reason, right? My kids, my wife. I got that back in my life. So I lost my kids. I lost my wife. We were separated. We lived in two different addresses.
Dang, when was that?
Once I got that, I can go back. I can go back on that too, and just start from.
Yeah, we want to. I definitely want to, but I wanted to ask you because I'm going to forget by the end of this podcast. So that's why I wanted to ask him right now. But like, because in 2009, or you said that you went through this again, and you said never again. I'm not going to go back. But then you didn't have that. You weren't separated. You didn't lose everything, right? So you're saying the physical part is you now you got it all back.
Right. That was the first one. The second one was spiritual. It was God. It was the craziest. And like, this is why I can't explain it to you, because I don't know why that part of my brain switched off. You understand? Like, I can't tell you what, besides knowing what I have to lose now, I can't tell you what's keeping me. Maybe I built a hatred towards that life. Maybe I built a hatred over time towards the substance, the things that I abused. But those two main reasons are what's keeping me from going back or finding a new low. I don't want to see the extension of me, my kids, my wife and stuff suffer anymore. I don't want to upset God, because the last straw that I had, the last egg in my basket that I chose to use this last time around was Jesus. Up until then, it was like, oh, I got this. I'll handle it. I'll get through it, you know? And I did that for years and years and years.
Right.
So I think when you accept that you can't do anything anymore in your power, and you've just like gave up, surrendered, that's how this whole roller coaster thing started for me. Was I was in my truck. I was homeless at the time. I didn't even have a place to stay. And it just, like, the Holy Spirit, dude, just straight up slapped me in the face, said, hey, you're an idiot. You know how many tries we've given you, and how many times you failed, and this and that. And I just kept ignoring it and pushing on my own until that day, lined up with a couple other offers that were happening in my life at that time, all had to be put together by God. And when I was in my meditation time, So I escaped everybody for months, from May 1st to July, end of July, for about 3 months almost. I got away from Arizona. I went in Central Coast, California, and stayed and lived basically on the beach for 3 months. Just me and God. Well, me getting through my situation first, and then me starting my new journey, right? That's when all that started.
Awesome. I love it. I can't wait to hear this story. So let's go from the beginning. Do you mind?